Flippin' Fantastic Podcast, episode 55. I'm Alicia Thanks-Picker.
And I'm Mo87 official. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody had a good week. And,
Good weekend.
Good weekend. And made lots of sales and got lots of good stuff. How's that?
There's definitely a little spider hanging off of my hat in front of my face. I only didn't freak out because I'm on camera.
You are, yeah, it's like you're buffering for me. I mean, it won't be that way on, when we actually post this.
Just
but
saw it hanging while you're talking.
I don't see you. You're buffering.
Well,
That's hilarious.
Not much to talk about this week. I guess, like today was my errands day, so I went to the post office, went to a few thrift stores. I only found stuff at the one thrift store I went to that wasn't Goodwill. And I also found out that all the Goodwills here in town are only taking cash. I think their system is down or something, but I went to one, they were taking cash, and I went to another one, and they said that I heard some lady complaining that oh, it's been like that for the past week. And I'm like, I don't know how long it's been since I've been out, but
yeah.
I mean, whatever. But I found a couple things at the one thrift store that I really like to support anyways, because they support incarcerated people. Once they get back out into the real world, they help them get on their feet, which I like. So
yeah.
Oh, new tattoo. By then you'll see it on cool. You'll see this on Friday, guys. But yeah, that's fun. I don't know what else to really talk about. Not a lot is happening. The weather's getting nicer, which is great. Makes me feel better.
It was nice here, and now it's cold and again. Or I shouldn't even say it was nice. It was warmer, but the sun's not out. And I'm just feeling
out.
very lately. It's hard. I've been getting up and I'm getting things done, but I just
I took a little walk today, and it did make a difference. I think.
Yeah,
that's kind of
nice. I gotta do that. I was thinking of that actually today, but I slept in. I didn't sleep well last night. That's the problem. I went to bed at a decent time, but I just laid there and I was not deep sleeping, do you know? I was dozing and tossing and turning. I don't know why. Every once in a while it happens. It's usually not a big problem for me, but for whatever reason yesterday it was. And so when I finally, I guess, slept, then I didn't get up till late. But then we went to the store and we had to take my car to get inspected. And that was because so it's still not fixed from the time I got rear-ended.
Oh, okay.
And because we were going through the other guys, it was right before the holidays. So we were going through the other guys' insurance. And they're going to pay, but it took them a month to get in touch. And now my husband keeps playing phone tag with the place to get it fixed, the repair shop. So we're plus I need a new muffler, and it's old. I mean it's 11 years old. It's not that old, but it's kind of the lifespan of a car anyway. So we went through the line and he's like, you're all good. I'm like, I can't believe it passed with that muffler. But whatever. I don't know anything about it, so it passed.
I'm glad here we don't have inspections. Well, it's kind of nice because you don't have to deal with it, but it's also, I feel like inspections can help keep, vehicles that shouldn't be on the road off the road.
You don't have
if
them
you
at
have,
all?
bad My inspections.
That's crazy.
My husband and I were actually just talking about that yesterday, I think it was, or a couple days ago. We were watching some video, and the person in it was also talking about vehicle inspection. So
that's crazy that you don't have it at all. That's my car, when you first get a new car, it's longer between inspection periods, and then as it gets older, like I think it was like 2 years this year or whatever.
Mhm.
Our mortgage will be paid off in the spring in like May, and we'll probably look at
Ooh,
a new car for me. Like since we won't have a mortgage payment anymore, we don't currently. Well, I guess he's paying his car because it's fairly new. It was like a new used car,
that's
but I
exciting.
might get one more new car. My dad worked for General Motors, and as long as he's still here, we still get a discount. So
That's really nice.
I'm like, one more new car. Yeah. So, and I mean, it's a decent, it's a decent discount. So, yeah. So one more. I haven't. He's like, "What do you want to get?" I'm like, "I don't know. To think about it."
If I could
So,
choose another, I'd choose an SUV just so I can haul more
mhm.
crap home
Yeah,
whenever I go sourcing.
you get a lot in that car.
Yeah, I do. It worked for me, for
Mhm.
sure.
I don't have. I just have a What do I have? An Equinox. It's
I
not my
like
favorite.
Equinoxes.
Yeah, it's not. It
Mhm.
wasn't. It wasn't my favorite of. So I used to get Pontiacs when Pontiacs were being made, and I liked them. I had a. Drew used to call it a milk truck. I had a Pontiac vibe, and it was
Mhm.
like kind of. It wasn't an SUV. It was kind of like a bigger station. It wasn't station wagon, but it had that hatchback thing.
Right.
I swear I could fit more in that car than I can in this one. And I like that car better. But they don't make Pontiacs anymore. They don't make any. Um so I don't know what I'm gonna get. But yeah, probably some sort of like a bigger car because my husband's is tiny. So
Mhm. Speaking of
maybe.
cars, today I went to the car wash. My registration was also due in February, so a couple days ago I went and got that paid for, which is stupid because the cost of registration in Lincoln is almost
Mhm.
twice the cost of where we used to live. It was like $80 last year. This year I paid almost $160 to
Wow.
re-register my vehicle with
Now
new
see that's
plates
yeah.
and
Oh, okay. You had to
because
get
of freaking wheel tax. They do wheel tax here. They don't do it where I'm from.
what is it?
Wheel tax?
Oh, wheel tax. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Like you're you keep buffering on me
Oh,
and I
I
can't.
don't know what's
Okay.
going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, your speed is fine.
Anyways, yeah, wheel tax.
Wheel
And
tax. Okay, that's
so
weird.
supposedly for the roads, even though the roads here, I mean, there's potholes everywhere, of course, which happens
Yeah.
every winter,
Mhm.
but yeah, we got that done, and I cleaned out my car, and I ran it through the car wash because it had salt all over it,
Yeah.
and it's ready to go for tomorrow. And I even bugged my mom. I'm like, "Hey, mom, can you go over to the newspaper place? Because over here, I called them. Apparently, they don't sell end rolls,
Mhm.
even though they're like, oh, we don't do the paper anymore." I'm like, that's weird. I swear I've seen it. Anyways,
Yeah.
so I asked my mom if she could go to the Daily News over where they're at and grab me some rolls. And she got me, I think she said 68 pounds worth of packing paper,
Oh my god.
and it was like $30.
Oh wow.
But like,
That'll last you
mind
a
you,
while.
the cardboard tubes on the middle are pretty heavy as is. Those are probably at
They're
least,
probably big. Yeah. Right.
yeah, they're thick rolls. What'd she say? 64 pounds, and she paid 29.45.
Mhm.
So that's cool. I just asked her to stop to grab some like 8 rolls. I told her just so I have it because I'd rather have too much than run out randomly. Because
I
my
mean, that
plan is to
seems
just
like a
grab
good
more
deal.
every time I go. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's worth it to just go grab it because
Right.
I was paying, I think it's like 50 or $60 just for one roll online, and it
Yeah.
doesn't even last me that long. So I'll keep buying from there as long as I can. Of course, I've been using a lot of packing material that I've gotten for free from people, but I'm starting to run out finally just because of all the packages going out.
I'm out of everything. As a matter of fact, I've sold a couple things today that are gonna need a little. They're not breakable, but I like to put like at least they're like wood things. A bowl, like an old wood bowl, and a
Mhm.
candlestick thing. I like to put a little bit of bubble wrap around them, just they get knocked around a little bit. But
Right.
I'm out of bubble wrap. I'm out of packing paper. I think I'm gonna have to go and get some interim at Home Depot while I wait for ordering. I have never committed to a roll of packing paper. I do have packing paper though, because my mom does save all the good stuff from any packages she has.
Mhm.
So she'll save paper, she'll save any bubble wrap that's not all messed up. And I have tons of those um those little pillows, those plastic pillows. Amazon
Mhm.
puts them
Air
in
pillows.
everything. Yeah, air
Yeah.
pillows, which are good. I use them for things that aren't, breakable, just to fill in.
Yeah, usually I'll throw them in, like, if I have, like, like a board game or basically a box in a box and there's just, like, a
Mhm.
little void, I'll throw it in
Yep.
there.
Yep.
I don't use them that much. I'd
No.
rather use paper or bubble wrap.
Yeah. But I use them for stuff like that, for like void fill and stuff that's not breakable. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, I also do sometimes if I have a mug. I sell a decent amount of mugs. I always get them fairly cheap around here. But if it's a particularly like a handle that I think is like particularly, vulnerable, I put
Mhm.
those around it, and then so I like put a I put a I put a one round of bubble wrap around it. Then I put two of them around the handle, and then I put more bubble wrap. So they have a cushion. The handle has a cushion, depending on what it is. And it seems to have worked because I don't have any complaints. So I do that.
Oh, hey, I just got an email from eBay. I finally got my 1099K from them. They just said important tax document.
Oh, okay.
That's fun. Speaking of glass, so last week I had said I was gonna do 8 hours of listing,
Mm-hmm.
which was successful.
I can't believe I was thinking, I was like, that's the first thing I'm gonna ask her, and I totally forgot. I mean, that was
I
the
was just
whole
going through
the premise of my title and my
yeah, that was pretty
last
funny.
week.
I One of my friends saw it and they're like, "You're quitting?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they sent me the screenshot. I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "I don't create the thumbnails." I'm like, "You're gonna have to watch it."
That was awesome clickbait. Then it worked. It worked.
So that day I did get up early. I clocked in at 8 a.m. Um, Worked till lunch, took an hour off for lunch, and my husband happened to be home for work. He's worked from home that day, so we ate lunch
Hmm.
together. I went back at it for another 4 hours, so 1 to 5. Um, in 8 hours, I listed 91 items, and it totaled in $3,366 worth of listings, which one thing already sold while I was listing.
Oh,
I
that's
had
cool.
these opalescent milk glass cups that I had picked up the previous week from an estate sale. On the bottom, they said Russell Wright. They had like a sticker. I'm like, these look cool. I'm like, I can't find anything on them. I'm like, I'll
Hmm.
take up. They're $4. And it's funny because my phone wasn't working in that house because my phone's connected to a VPN that is connected to the house here, and our VPN was
Hmm.
actually down, so my phone wasn't working at all. And I was like, what the
Oh,
heck? I thought it
okay.
was my phone, but it was the VPN. Um, so I had left the glasses there. I wanted to look them up and nothing was loading, so I just left them there. And I'm so glad that no one else got them because I sold the two glasses for $300.
Oh, wow.
Uh, the only other one I
Wow.
could find was a listing with, I think it was 6 of them. They were shot glass sizes, but basically the same glasses, but shot glass. They sold for $600. Well, it said 600, and then when you clicked into it, it said like 450 or 425. So I don't know what it actually sold for, but it was on a bid.
Hmm.
Um, I was wow. I was like, wow. And actually yesterday or today I just received feedback from the person saying it was packed really well. I double boxed it. I
Yeah.
packed them super well in bubble wrap, threw it in a box, and then I put it
Oh
in a
man.
bigger box with more bubble wrap.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm making sure these arrive safely. And yeah, those were pretty exciting. That will be coming up on one of my videos. I'm actually
Awesome.
yesterday I wasn't feeling well, so I just edited videos pretty much all day. I got 3 done. One of them being a GoPro video, which
Mhm.
those take forever to get through. This was footage from like November. Um, but yeah, we've seen some good results from that, but it seems like overall, at least on like Trash to Cash today, they're talking about how like it seems to be really slow for everybody right now. I'm not complaining. Like I've been making pretty
I've been
average
slower.
sales.
I've been
Okay.
slower.
Like I haven't
I'm
really noticed much,
yeah,
but I mean like
yeah,
I'm still, as long as I have stuff to pack every day, I'm not
yeah.
picky, I
And
guess.
I've
But
been making sales every day. So for me,
that's
that's
good.
good. And I took a bunch of pictures today and I was before we got on here, it's one of the things I was doing is going through them and
Mhm.
they're ready to go, so I'm going to make the listings. And yeah, so I haven't
That's exciting.
I haven't been too slow. Not for me.
Yeah, I'd say I haven't been super slow, but I've also been, like I said, I just listed 90 something items that day.
Right.
Excuse
Yeah.
me. And semi whatever. Um what else? But yeah, I was really happy with that. I got footage from all that. That'll all be in an upcoming video, which I'm working on getting caught up on. We're finally posting. I think what I just posted was actually earlier this month. So we're in like within the same month now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um but yeah, and then I went sourcing today. I picked up my first ever, I think it's my first ever Patagonia piece. It's like a fleece vest. Paid 10
Mhm.
bucks. It was a size XL, so I looked up that specific one with the style code in XL.
Yeah.
Has like 5 listed, 5 sold, and the cheapest one currently listed is like 50 something bucks, 55, something like that.
Nice.
So I was like, you know what, I'll grab it. I almost didn't. And then I also
Mhm.
found a pair of, the brand LEI.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still make clothes. I found a pair of chunky black platforms by LEI, and they're very like
Mhm.
Y2K. I love this brand for that kind of stuff, so I found those
Yeah.
today. And at that thrift store, any of their boots or shoes right now are half off, so I paid $3, and I should get potentially 55 plus. They sold on Mercari last for 55 bucks. I think we could get more because they're like the style right now. They're like embroidered black platform heels.
Mhm.
Very cute. I was excited to find those because I almost walked out and I'm like, I'm gonna go look at the shoes. And I'm glad I did. So that's fun.
That's cool. I did not go
Hmm.
shop. I didn't even go to the good estate sale this weekend. I couldn't go Friday when it opened. Saturday, I slept too late and um and then I had something to do in the afternoon, so I was like, I'm not gonna go up there. I'll go tomorrow, half price day. And then Sunday I just had the blahs and I was like, and I was downstairs and I was like sorting through stuff. I was like, I had too much stuff. I'm not gonna go. So that's
Hmm.
good. I don't have too much FOMO. Although it was supposedly a packed house, but oh well. I don't
I went to 3 estate sales this week and they were pretty decent. We found some cool stuff. I found those glasses I sent in the
yeah.
Discord that 20 bucks and they last sold for 130, so I'm hoping
Mhm.
it wasn't just a random fluke, that it's actually valuable glasses, which they are etched on the bottom with the signature, so
Yeah.
I feel like they're worth something. Um, but yeah, I noticed today on Trash to Cash, I watched them today while I was out driving, or listened to them. They had wanted to do a segment with mediocre item of the week, which I thought would be fun. So like the cheapest item you've sold. I thought that'd be funny. And they, of course, they were just making fun of Carrie because he sells his sports cards, but I
For
thought
a
that'd be
dollar.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
his
dollar
dollar card.
50.
Uh-huh.
So I thought I'd look through and see what my cheapest. I know I sold something for like $3 a couple weeks ago. I think it was, or on the video I just edited. I think it was like $3. Um, I see an $8, $6 plus shipping.
I sold
Yeah,
something for
that's
5 a couple weeks
that's my
ago.
mediocre item of the week.
Yeah.
$6, and you said 5.
Yeah. It was it's actually the second well, it's a like one of those blender cups for like a NutriBullet
Mm.
blender or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like um like a ninja blender. And I had the blade that screwed on it and I had sold it and they were like it doesn't work. I didn't have anything to test it with. And they were like if you look at it it's something was like stripped like on the plastic and it couldn't. And I looked at it and they were right. So I took it back anyway. So
Mhm.
I threw that part away and I was like I'll just put the cup up.
There you
And
go.
yeah, and it sold for $5. And I got some money back from it. I don't
Something.
know. That was it was from I made my money back on that buy because it was like I think it was like an estate auction sale
Mhm.
and it was like a box of kitchen stuff and I had this big like mixer thing and um I sold the bread kneader like attachment for it. I sold the actual base for it for like a couple $100. Like I only spent like $10 on the whole thing. So there was a few other things in that lot. I
And
think that
actually,
might.
Amy was just talking about parting out.
Hmm.
Or no, who was it? Someone said that someone has an eBay store that's
Yeah,
just
Grams or Pops or somebody. Yeah, he said
yeah.
it. Corey said it. Somebody there's I think it was him. Yeah, he saw somebody's store that's all parting out kitchen stuff. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, definitely. Like with that, I parted it. It had like the bread kneader thing. It wasn't like a
Mhm.
big KitchenAid. It was some other kind. I forget. Um, and it had the bowl. I think I ended up throwing the bowl away though because the bowl was it the bowl or a lid or something. There was something I threw away because it was kind of falling apart and it had like a very distinct smell like of
Mhm.
certain ingredients that were like in it. I was like, okay, no.
Ugh.
But I sold that. I sold that for almost $200, just the base, and then there was a couple. There was a couple blade attachments. I remember the bread one was the last one to sell. Um, yeah, so I parted what I had of that out, and it all sold, and the base sold really fast. Some church in the South bought it. I guess you know what I mean for like their kitchen. It went to a church somewhere. I was like, hey, but yeah, so it when in doubt, parted out.
Yes, for sure. Like I've done that with
Hmm.
like a new wave.
Oh
I bought
yeah,
the
I
new
never
wave, and
find
this
those.
was
Yeah.
before I learned how to like like I don't know. I could have shipped with UPS or FedEx, but I had the whole thing in a huge box. It was going to cost like almost $100 to ship it. I ended up parting it out and selling each piece on its own, and I
Hmm.
I got the whole thing for $20. So um, my
Yeah.
mediocre sale of the week. I see a $4 one, but I think that's actually 2 weeks ago. But yeah, that $6 item is just a little one of those Bethlehem Village little figurines. I've had some lady come buy stuff from me twice, like replacement pieces for this village. She bought two for me
Oh,
a couple
cool.
weeks ago or a week
Hmm.
ago, and she came back and bought another one and that Fontanini piece that I told you about last week. It was
Oh,
supposed to light up.
Fontanini. Yeah.
Yeah, I plugged it in, it didn't work. So I still sold it for 25, but I paid
Yeah.
15. If it
Uh-huh.
would have worked, it would have probably been worth like 50 to 75, but
Oh, okay.
whatever. We still made money, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. But of course those glasses were a great great flip for me, and I also sold a Dymo that I picked up for
Oh, yeah.
$18 at that same sale for 200. It was
Nice.
like a dual printer. It was cool, but it was like for smaller labels. Because I
Okay.
almost wanted to keep it for
Yeah.
myself, but
Hmm.
Shoot, $200, I'll take it. So this
Heck
week has been great
yes.
for sales, and it's because I listed.
Yep.
Wow, who would have thought?
Mhm. Shocker.
I also sold the second one of those State Farm plaques. I bought 3 of them.
Uh-huh. Those
I
are
sold
great.
a
Yeah.
second one for 90, so I have one left.
Mhm.
So I $24 so far into $190. We just got to sell the last one. So it should bring it
Nice.
around 300. So that'll be
Awesome.
great.
How much did you pay for all?
24, so 8 apiece.
Nice.
Actually, I just showed them in my video I posted today, actually.
I sold something very fast yesterday, well, Sunday night, I guess, that I
Mhm.
didn't think I had bought it at a garage sale. I just like this they had a bunch of stuff out. Um it was kind of like an estate garage sale, it was just stuff on the lawn, but it was like they were cleaning out somebody's old person's house. And it was this book of like cocktails from like the 1940s, and it's like
Mhm.
wood cover, and it has a bunch of drinks in and weird little cartoons in it. And I just thought it was neat. And I got a bunch of stuff from that sale. And so I mean this was like probably less than $1 from what I paid from all of it. And I listed it um just the other day. And when I went to list it, because I didn't comp it or anything when I bought it, I just thought it looked interesting, right? And there were so many listed, I can't even remember. I'm like, oh, this is never going to sell. And mine, it sold, and I didn't price it super cheap. Some people had it like, I sold it for like $20. Some
Mhm.
people had it way up there, and some people had it like, for $5. So I was like, I'm going to sell it for 20. It's in good shape. And it sold like right away. It sold in like a day or two. So
Wow.
that's weird, but I was like, oh, this thing's going to sit. But it didn't.
Um. Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh, comments from last week. We have
Oh, yeah.
2. ABC Matt. It was fun to talk with you ladies. It was fun in Florida, but honestly, I had more fun in Vegas. I agree. Vegas was really fun. Florida looked fun too. I guess I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I wasn't there, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then we got a comment from Arky Junk Doctors. I just had an idea while shipping. I like to recycle poly mailers, but sometimes I can't get the stickers off. It just dawned on me. Turn them inside out. They look like new. They don't fill up the landfills as quick. You guys probably knew that, but I didn't. Bubble mailers, usually I'll just, if I can't get the label off, I'll either black it out or I'll slap like a blank label on it.
Yeah, that's what I've
Poly
done before.
mailers, on the other hand, usually like I will rip the bag before I get the label off because it's so thin. But actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I
Not
don't
that
I don't
I have a crap ton of poly mailers though. I bought a
Yeah.
bunch at a Amazon return store like
Uh-huh.
what 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago now, and I still have a bunch. Um, but if it came down to it, I guess yeah, that is a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm
I
all
mean,
for reusing packaging.
I've reused foam mailers, and sometimes not for like the actual package, but sometimes like for wrapping something else in a box. Do you know what I mean? Or
Mhm.
like fill or something. That way. I do reuse a lot of stuff, so if it's decent, I try and reuse it. Even boxes, and I know like people, when you go like on Facebook and stuff, and then people have a absolute fit when they get something and somebody's used like a post office box for or bag for not the reason. And I don't do
Mhm.
that. But I get stuff. I don't use a lot of priority stuff anymore just because Ground Advantage is, much better. But I get stuff. When I do get stuff in them, I will reuse that. Like especially like if I get a box, like if I had a old priority box, I'll use them and I'll cut them up because like that book I was talking about that I sent, I put it in a bubble mailer, but
Mhm.
I cut cardboard from an old box and wrapped it around that and used the the plastics cling wrap. around it and then put it in the bubble mailer so it wouldn't get. I do that a lot for books, sometimes for a video game or something, depending on how much it sold for. Just to
Actually, speaking
protect
of
it more.
books, you know that kitchen clatter cookbook I talk about a lot? That I say like I usually pick up if I get it cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's like light blue with usually a black spine on it. Anyway, I
Yeah.
found one this
What's
last
it called
week.
again? Say it again.
Kitchen clatter.
Kitchen clatter. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's just blue. I've
Yeah.
bought and sold a few. I have 2 or 3 on hand right now, but I found one this last week and it was
Mm-hmm.
actually the first edition. I've
Oh,
sold like
cool.
the 5th edition and the 7th edition, but this one's the first. So I
Uh-huh.
listed at like I think at 20 or $25. I
Yeah.
paid 5 because I wanted to kind of experiment, see if the first edition sells better or not. I don't know which each edition has, but that's one to look out for, especially if you get it for like a quarter or something. You could usually get, I don't know, I've sold them for anywhere from $10 to $20.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like getting noise. I like getting I like old cookbooks. I still
I
have
still haven't
pretty
found any
decent one.
other ones that are like amazing, but Kitchen Clatter, it's just kind of like a bread and butter type book. And
Yeah.
I've found
Mm-hmm.
it several times over here. So
That's cool.
I still haven't found
Yeah, I've
anything
never.
cheap enough like church cookbooks or anything like that here that are cheap enough that for me to justify getting them to take a gamble on them. Like how you said you could get them like for pennies or just
Yeah,
super
I
cheap.
get like yeah. Usually, if
But I
like
don't.
an estate sale or whatever.
Mhm.
Well, I get a lot of them. I've gotten a lot of them at church sales, which are usually in the spring. And like the one church sale, the last time I got a whole bunch, it was like they had like fill a bag, so they gave you like a plastic bag. I just shoved as many books in there as I could
Oh, there you
that were
go.
good. So
That's
I
a good.
didn't like. I'm not going to stop and scan every book at that, So it was like fill it. It was like a plastic grocery sized bag for I forget what it was. It might have been 5 or something, but
Mhm.
you had a lot of books in there. I shoved a lot of books in there, so yeah, that's how I've gotten them. Or at estate sales, the one estate sale, he's books are usually like some of the if it's a bigger book or if it's something special, they price them, but just regular books are like quarter to 50 cents. So
That's a good deal to get those books cheap. So
yeah,
that way, if they
hmm
don't sell, like I mean, usually you can sell what if you paid $5-10 for the whole bag and you sell one
yeah,
book, you could
yeah. And it
make
wasn't all
most of.
it wasn't all cookbooks. I bought some other stuff in there that
Mhm.
some like um I've sold like series of kids books. Like I'll like if I see Goosebumps, I just pick it up. There's certain like kids series like that, and then you just get a whole
Mhm.
bunch and you put it up for because they usually sell pretty well for me anyway.
I've seen Happy Picker. She will pick up a bunch of vintage photo frames and lot them up and sell them. She's gotten some decent money for some big lots, so I might try
That's
that
cool.
this summer. If I find a sale where, they have a bunch in the free bin or maybe
Yeah,
for like a quarter a piece, I'll grab it
yeah,
and try it. She's shown a couple of lots on her Instagram story, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And it can't be too hard to ship. I mean, as long as you got a box and some bubble wrap.
yeah. That's cool. So you give somebody a whole like she locks them up. Oh look, you already have your whole gallery wall.
Yeah, I don't know why people would want to buy those, but or unless they're doing crafts or something, I'm not sure.
Maybe. I mean, are they like just plain? Does she buy like fancy looking
It
ones
looks
or?
like plain wooden ones, but
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if the picture's still up or not, if it was on her story or what. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of an
Because I
interesting.
mean, I would for sure pick up vintage ones that are kind of like ornate or cool looking. Those
Mhm.
I've bought a few things from the Goodwill like that had like ugly prints in them just for the frame. Sometimes for me, because if it's cool
Mhm.
looking frame and you put something else in it to hang up. But I've sold something like that too.
Hmm. Well, there you go, guys.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna talk about this blanket message I got yesterday. It was because
This
it
is
was
funny.
pretty ridiculous.
It's
So I
funny.
sold this blanket. It was a vintage Linecrafters blanket. Had a really pretty tag. It had anchors on it. It was like a cream color. I just listed it like 2-3 weeks ago. I get a message. I sold it. I shipped it out. I get a message yesterday. Hi, I received a cotton blanket in the mail that I did not order. I put an offer on a Lion Crafters LL Bean cream-colored cotton blanket, and for some reason this got ordered from you. I don't even know what I paid for it, and I don't think I even want it. Can you please help me out? All I said was, feel free to open and return things. And the guy was just like, whatever. Then they said, thank you, will do. And then about 5 minutes later, they said, hi, instead of me sending the blanket back, would you offer me any sort of discount because of what happened? After I read that, I'm like, what? WTF? I'm like, how is this my fault at all? Because
I
eBay
know.
definitely emails you several times when you order something. It's like usually when you submit the order, then once when the order's like
Paid
completed, and once the
for
order
and
gets shipped, and yeah.
exactly.
And I said, no, I didn't have anything to do with that. You placed the order, I shipped it. And then they said, I put an offer on a different blanket, and for some reason your blanket came up and I didn't catch that, but I was not even in your store, so I will return it. Thank you. Then the next thing I know, they open a return. They put the reason as ordered by mistake, which is good because that means it's not going to be me paying for the shipping back. They have to pay for the
Yeah.
shipping back. Then they put in the comments, I put an offer on a different Lion Crafters LL Bean blanket from another vendor/seller, and something must have popped up with this blanket, which makes no sense, but I guess that's how they get you. So I will return this blanket because it is not even close to the one they put is not even close to the one, comma, the other seller has. That doesn't even make sense right there. Thank you,
It's
Jill blank, like their last name.
it's the that I guess that's how they get you comment
Like,
that gets me. I'm like, oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Like
I'm totally out to get you, Jill. I'm making you order this blanket on accident.
you've you've totally rigged the system of eBay, Alicia.
I'm
to
making people buy stuff that they don't want, apparently.
I mean, Jill, you know, drinking and drinking and shopping, online
Is it
shopping.
Jill or
Sometimes
Jim? Oh, it is
sometimes they'll do
Jill.
that.
So,
Sometimes they'll
I'm
do that
hoping they're
too.
not trying to pull something. I'm gonna check the blanket, obviously, when I get it back. I'm just hoping it actually was a
Yeah.
mistake, but I'm just like, come on, like, eBay emails you, like, at least 4 times when
Yeah,
you
and if
order
she's just
something.
and if it's the app, you get notifications. Like, come on. Come on.
Anyways, and then I also got a return on that SpongeBob Barbie, which I also
Oh,
posted
right.
in
Mhm.
that Discord. They returned it because the
The
body
head.
color is not the same color as the head. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like that's kind of a BS reason, but whatever. I
I
guess
mean,
some
that's kind
collectors
of
are just picky.
it's kind of how sometimes Barbie is.
They shipped it back in a bubble mailer. I shipped it to them in a box. They shipped it back in a bubble mailer.
Stop.
So
Did it get messed up?
the plastic got squished in. So I deducted because
I
it
would
was in
too.
pretty good shape, and now the plastic has like ripples in it because it got squished.
Not to mention, you're if they're returning and you're paying. I don't know how it worked for you. I guess you had to pay. I'm assuming. Either way, put it back in the box, people, because that's what you paid for, and that's what we're paying for return shipping. Is what we paid to send it to you. I I don't get that when I've gotten a few returns like that where they're not in the same box. Like, why?
Yeah, usually like yeah, when I order something, I kind of hold on to it just in case. Same with like, especially with Amazon. Even though with Amazon, you can return stuff without the box
Yeah,
anymore.
I
If you
don't,
take it to the UPS store, they'll take care of it for
yeah.
you.
Here we can take it to Kohl's. So
Mm-hmm.
I just take it to Kohl's. It's closer than UPS. But
So,
yeah, so I don't worry about the Amazon boxes. But like the manufacturer box for that kind of stuff, I'll save. Because if I do return it, I'll put it back in that box. But I've ordered stuff off of eBay and stuff. I mean, I have plenty of boxes, but if you don't save the box for a hot minute, don't put it in this recycle just yet. Decide if Barbie's head matches her neck. I don't. I wasn't a big Barbie player, but my sisters were. But I just remember her head is usually a little bit. Her head's different than her body, and it's usually, and a lot of times, it's not exactly the same. That's just.
so I was just curious with the LL Bean Lion Crafters blanket. I'm like,
Oh, were you looking what it
were they
was?
just I was like, what were they just pulling that terminology out of their, you know what? Or were they just and I just put Lion Crafters LL Bean in the search. There's none listed and 2 sold. Although I don't know what determines that, but anyways, there's a couple blankets. I guess the one kind of looks like the one I had sold this person, but mine had anchors all over it. Like it had an anchor knit design. So I was just trying to see if the blanket actually sold to someone else. If I could like see who it sold
Right.
to, but I can't seem to figure that out. But anyways, and then I had a Kit Kat branded backpack. I got like 4 of them. I finally sold one. And I shipped it out. And yesterday I get a message saying, hey, for some reason the tracking shows that like there was no such address. And so I told him like, did you make sure the address was correct? And then I said, you might want to check with the post office, but otherwise the package will make its way back to me eventually. They actually went to the post office and they got their package, which is cool. Because it just said no such address. Looked like they were gonna ship it back to me. Actually, I was gonna see if they actually put it as delivered, but the person messaged me, "Thank you, like I got it." I'm like, perfect. I've had like 3 packages go out of Omaha, super super late. Like they get stuck in Omaha, or I had one that wasn't even scanned as picked up, and so I was worried. I'm like, what if it just gets lost since there was no pickup scan? It just means that they never got it. It
Right.
finally showed up like I think it was a week later. It finally got scans in I don't know where. Missouri or something like that. I'm like they're kind of dropping the ball a little bit. I've had 3 people message me about shipments that haven't arrived yet for them. And usually I'll be nice to say I'll keep an eye on it. With the recent snow, I'm assuming that's why.
Yeah,
But
hopefully.
I've also heard there's some shipping hub somewhere near here that they're like super backed up, I heard. So
Get it
that
together,
could be the issue.
Omaha. Get it together.
But so far everything's arrived for these people, so that's good. I haven't had anything what's the item not received case, which is good.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, customers are and I also sold what was it? Because I got that negative feedback removed. I'm trying to find it. I forgot what it is even about. I've just been going through it with customers lately, I swear. What was it? Oh, I shipped out a board game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I threw it like in a regional A, and usually I'll cut it down and it'll just be the regional A box. And I've shipped out multiple board games from that board game buy. No problem. This one is like it got curb stomped, so it was like, like almost like a little V shape. Like they really smashed it.
Yeah.
Buyer messages me, complains. I offer them, oh, what was it? It was like a 25 plus shipping game. I offered them $10 for the damage. They wanted, I think it was $20 and their original shipping, something like that. They wanted something ridiculous. I'm like, you know what? If you just want your money back, you need to return it.
Yeah,
And
they were basically, now I remember, like,
and then they
you
messaged me.
you
They're
were
like,
gonna
you need
lose
to,
money big time,
yep.
is what it was.
And so they messaged her like, this needs to be settled today, or I will be leaving negative feedback and
Yeah.
contacting eBay. And I said, hello, please open a return, and once I receive it back, you will get a full refund.
Right.
I don't hear from them for like 4 or 5 days. All of a sudden, I get a negative on my account,
Mhm.
and they said, I'm trying to blow it up because the screenshot I have is way too small. They said, seller packed game into a box too small for item, which isn't true. It just was a board game in a regional A. I mean, I don't know how I could fit a box in another box that's too small for an item. Whatever. They said no packing material used, which is true. Usually board games I don't use packing material. It's usually just a box in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Game came damaged, and seller would not help with issue. Didn't offer to do claim and wouldn't take responsibility for missing a clearly too small box for the item. But mind you, they had messaged me previously and they had said something like, you know, this needs to be resolved, or I'm leaving negative feedback, blah blah blah. But the way they worded it was, according to eBay, was feedback extortion. So eBay told me either way,
Yeah.
if they leave a negative, it will be removed because they threatened that, and eBay did remove it.
Right.
And so that was off my hands. And I had another random negative a little bit before that, but it was because it took forever to get delivered or something like that. And the negative was just talking crap about USPS the whole time. It wasn't even
So
about
it
me.
wasn't you. Yeah.
Yeah, so
You have to go to USPS website and leave them the negative for that,
yeah.
not the seller.
But anyways, the board game one was, I mean, they're a board game seller themselves. You even did research on their account, and they sell board game pieces and stuff.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
we were all looking at it. We're all like, they sell board games.
so they'll
I
probably make
think
their
they
money back
were
just
being
fine.
shady.
Yeah, I don't know. I
The
usually
whole
don't
thing sounds shady.
offer I don't usually offer partials, but I felt bad it got damaged. I'm like, okay,
Right.
I don't really
Uh-huh.
want them to return it because the return shipping was going to be like $12.
Right.
And I was like, it's just not worth it. And plus, I don't want the damaged item really because I would just have to part it out at that point.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I'll give them that. But then they wanted like double what I gave them and the return shipping. I'm like, or and the original shipping.
Yeah.
So at that point, I would have been losing out on basically
Mm-hmm.
the item cost and return shipping and original shipping. I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? No. So they obviously, I gave them the option to full refund if they return it, but they obviously had a problem with returning it to me. But I don't think they're trying to pull something, because this was a Chinese version of the board game. So unless they had the same exact thing and they were trying to do something, whatever,
I don't
it's done.
know. It was
It's
weird.
done. People are crazy this year. 2024 is the year of the crazy
I
customers.
mean, yeah. The fact that they threatened you and then did it with the negative feedback. I mean, and that here's the whole weird thing about it is that they're a seller
Mm-hmm.
and they did all that. Like, you're a seller. Like, you know how people are. Like, you know how this works. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what? Or maybe
They
they
know how to
don't.
open
And
a
they're just,
return, and I don't know
yeah.
what the claim thing in the negative, if they meant like I didn't open a USPS claim, which I know would have gotten denied because you need to prove that there was like at least 2 inches of packing around the item, and there wasn't.
Uh-huh.
But I don't pack board games like super carefully. I shipped out that, whatever, I sold a Candyland board game that I picked up for like $2 for like 100 something.
Yeah.
I shipped it in a Frankenbox box. It didn't have packing in it. But like
Okay.
just any board game I've shipped, I've never done that. Maybe
Okay.
I should? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys. Like,
Yeah,
Do you guys
I've never shipped an actual board game like that.
bubble wrap or packing paper your board games? I don't. I just throw them in another box, and as long as it's not like being shaken around, I think it's fine. This one just happened to get really damaged.
I mean,
But yeah,
I don't know if that was true damage and they weren't making crap up. Bubble wrap wouldn't have helped it anyway, so.
yeah. And then they made the claim that I didn't try to fix it. What I did, I tried to give them a
You
partial. They said no,
you
and then I
said the
said they could
partial,
return it.
right.
But they wanted more money, so.
And you didn't agree to that partial, so you offered the full refund. Like, you were fixing it. You weren't like, "No, sorry, you're out of luck," or anything.
And not that I freak out about my feedback really. Like if I get a negative and it was deserved, yeah, but this
Uh-huh.
person,
No, it
it's the
wasn't
fact that
deserved.
they held that over my head.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not like
wasn't
it's the end of
deserved.
the world if I get a negative, but I do take pride in having 100% positive
Yeah.
feedback. I think that's a little important. I think it's important to at least have like a 95 or above
Yeah.
in my eyes.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody, I guess. Some people it's life or death if they get a if they get a negative. I'll take it a little personally. I might be a little sad if you leave me a negative, but
It also depends on how much feedback you have. If you're new, a negative's gonna,
right.
be worse than
Actually,
if you have a lot of feedback. I don't have a terrible amount of feedback. I mean, I have good feedback. I don't have a lot.
mhm.
Because you don't. How many people? What is the feedback ratio? Is it like a third or something of all your sales, or
No,
less
I'm
probably?
at 1645 and I've sold, does it say how many items I've sold? I
I
thought there was
don't
something
know.
that tells me how many items I've ever sold. 4.8 thousand items sold. Or so 4,800 items sold and I have 1645 feedback. So not even half for me. Like I don't even know how to calculate that. Or I
Where
can't
does it
think
say
straight.
how much you sold? I only have
If you go to your
365 feedback. I don't sell that much.
if you go to like your store itself, it says
Yeah.
like my feedback and
Oh,
then
okay.
how many items sold and my followers. But anyways, but I know on I think it was Reseller Clickbait podcast, they were talking about how to get more feedback or something like that. Someone was talking about whether or not they leave thank you notes in packages. And I wanted to kind of talk about that here because
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I used to handwrite thank you notes unless they
Mhm.
specified they didn't want anything, like no invoice if it was an obvious drop shipper.
Yeah.
But I used to write thank you and then the person that ordered the item, I'd put their name.
Okay.
And I used to get feedback on that all the time, saying like, "Oh, the seller left a handwritten note, blah blah blah." I'd usually cut up an index card, make little strips, and they'll put "thank you" blank, and then do that. And I've gotten
Okay.
some feedback, I think, because of that. But now I'm refining my shipping process. So I got the table, and I'm like, you know what? These notes really slow me down. So what I did is I sat there and I just wrote thank you exclamation point on like 1,000 little strips of paper, and I just throw one of those in every package. But I know some people
Huh.
like Grandma and Pops, they do like they
They
do
have
like a
like
little postcard and a sticker or
yeah.
something. They do
I know
something really nice.
they do some like they do a lot. I don't know
Mhm.
how much I would do that. I don't sell as much as either of you guys. I feel like people like us, like sellers, kind of like that stuff and
Mhm.
stickers and like the sticker and that kind of stuff is more like an Etsy thing. I feel, and this is me personally, I feel for eBay it's kind of a waste of money because I think 99% of people that buy stuff on eBay throw it away. I mean,
That's
that's
kind of
just
my thought
yeah.
too, which is why I kind of don't invest a lot. I just like grab a
Yeah.
Sharpie and some paper and I
Uh-huh.
sit there for, 30 minutes writing thank you, thank you, thank you, basically.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even do that.
sometimes I'll throw a little extra, like if it's a really nice order or if like I had a good conversation with somebody before the item was shipped. Sometimes I'll write an extra long thank you note, or sometimes I'll throw in an ink picker sticker, or something like that.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's just a little strip of paper that says thank you. And people are even though I've been doing that and it hasn't been as personalized, I've still been getting some feedback saying, "Oh, seller included a thank you note."
Yeah, I used to. So when I sold before, and then when I started selling again, I printed out the invoice
Mm-hmm.
and I wrote thank you on there when I put it in, and then, then I stopped that, so I don't do anything.
And sometimes I forget. If I do, I'll write it on the outside of the box, or I'll just not put anything in there. What else did I thought I wrote down
I have
something.
I have like a roll of little stickers that say thank you on them. So sometimes when I'm thinking about it, I'll put that on, like if after I wrap something up, I'll put it on there. But I don't always think about it.
And I know with District, I bought a bunch of thank you cards from
Uh-huh.
somebody on the dollar auction. All my District orders, I've been using those as
I was
thank
gonna say,
yous.
that's a place I would also be more apt to put that kind of stuff in, because those are target buyers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they're targeted, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to Dip specifically
Mm-hmm.
because they're looking for, that nostalgia kind of stuff. Or they're going to Knickknacks because they're looking for, lamp lady kind of stuff. It's more niche, you know? I don't
Excuse
know if
me.
I would. I personally, I don't know if I'd waste my time or money on that for eBay. I don't know,
And
but
speaking of Dip,
interesting.
they did schedule another raid train. It's actually the largest raid train that they've done as of yet. It's going to run from 2 o'clock Central to 9:30 Central. So what, 7.5 hours of vintage nostalgia toys and
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff. I will be on at 6 o'clock Central,
cool. When
and
is
this
it?
is on
I haven't even looked over there.
what day is this? Oh my gosh, where's the date? It's on a Thursday. Thursday, February 8th. So
Yeah,
a
see,
week from Thursday.
yeah. Oh, they got to do it on a Thursday that I can actually do it. I mean, it's probably booked now because I wasn't looking, but I don't think I can do it that Thursday.
Ooh, excuse me. I think there's a couple more slots left. I'm not sure. They've been trying to tag people and get people on there, but I haven't been listing on Dibdit, but I did buy a bunch of Mickey Mouse or Disney items at
Yeah,
another estate sale for pretty cheap.
that's good.
So there, I have more items again.
Yeah, I don't have any of that. I don't have much at the moment.
So yeah, that was my thing. Is like I wanted to do one, but I'm running out of inventory, like
Yeah.
that works for Dibdit.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I do probably have another, like if I did another day, 8-hour day of listing, I probably have enough stuff to do another one of those, and then I'm probably gonna be pretty close to being done with the death pile. Just because
That's all.
a lot of that is clothes. I had 2 bins of clothes which I didn't relist, and then I ended up losing the listings because they were in the unsold section for too long. So a lot of those I need to redo. Pictures and measurements, which
Yeah.
a lot of them needed redone anyways, so
Uh-huh.
I'm not too heartbroken about that. So it's just a lot of that. But I've been trying to work hard at listing, but currently I'm selling more than I'm listing, which I guess is a good thing to try to get stuff cleared out again, because I
Right.
a lot of the stuff I had listed last week is still on the floor. Like I just listed and put it on the floor next to me. and
That's
so that's
where
where a lot of stuff
all my
is
stuff's
living.
in like a box, and I have to like put it away that I listed or that
And I'm
I'm
just like,
about to
shoot, I
list.
hope I hope to get rid of enough stuff by spring.
Gotta make room for those garage sales. I am. I'm just not finding like maybe garage sale season. I'm not. I haven't been shopping much lately. That's
Mm,
true. But the few times I've gone out, I'm just not finding dibbed it kind of stuff. Unfortunately, now I might have some more stuff in my death pile that I come across. I'll just
mm.
list it on there. But I'm not sitting on giant, buys of
Hey, and
Barbies or
that's a
anything.
good thing. That's a good thing sometimes. For me, I'm not
No.
trying to get a bunch of buys, but
Yeah.
I am
Well,
trying to
I
meet
don't
up with
need to.
I am trying to meet up with Grandma and Pops because, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to Sioux Falls to go to that concert,
Right. Uh-huh.
which is tomorrow. And then I'm actually staying overnight at my friend's because it's 3.5 hours drive to get there, and I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. That was like a couple hours. I'm like, oh, after the concert, I
Uh-huh.
could drive home a couple hours, but no, it's 3.5. So I'm like staying over at my friend's. She gets up
Uh-huh.
for work and has to be at work at like 6 a.m. So I'm gonna hang around Sioux Falls
Yikes.
and yeah, I might hang out with Grandma and Pops for a little bit, do some
Mhm.
thrifting over there. I was hoping there may be some estate sales, but it sounds like they might not have any over there, kind of like they do here in Lincoln,
Yeah.
because Lincoln's booming with that, and I'm gonna miss
Uh-huh.
whatever's on Thursday morning, unfortunately. But if I get back into town and I feel like it, I'll probably go to some
Mhm.
sales after I do my 3.5 hour drive. But anyways, I don't need to get more stuff right now. I don't really need to source. I really didn't want to leave the house today. I wanted to work on other things that I needed to get finished up before I leave tomorrow, but I still went and found a couple things.
That's cool.
And hopefully find more when I go with Grandpa's.
Yeah. Fun to source a different city. Beat them to the good stuff. No, I'm just kidding. She's coming for you, Grams and Pops. She's gonna take all the good things.
No, we both have areas of expertise,
I
I
know,
feel
I'm
like.
just kidding.
Like when we all went picking at Orange City, Iowa. We all found good stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like I found that Wallace and Gromit plush. Um I don't know, I can't think of what else. They found something good. They found a popple and it was sitting
That's
right
cool.
there. Like I
That's
went right
cool.
past it and then
Oh,
and
man.
then Teresa saw it. I'm like, "Oh." It's just so weird how, we all see different things. You could
Right.
put us all in
Uh-huh.
the same room and we're all going to probably pick something different that's like
Exactly.
our
Yep.
gold.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of reselling. I'm not
Oh
super
my god.
competitive. Like if I'm picking with other pickers, like I'm just like, if I find something cool, cool. But it's like if they find something cool, it's also cool because then you can kind of educate other people on what you found and why
Right.
it's
And you
worth
learn
picking
what
up.
they found and stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. My
But
son is
anyways.
is playing a game like he's playing downstairs like right below where I am. And he
Mhm.
is so loud. I don't know what he's doing.
My cats are running in and out of here for some reason. I don't know what they're doing. I need to go to sleep at some point. Yesterday, I was not feeling well because I had just gotten the tattoo the day before.
Mhm.
Didn't sleep very well, and then I was really crabby, and I ended up falling asleep from like 3 o'clock to like 8 o'clock. So I woke up at like 8 o'clock p.m. I'm like, oh well, crap! There goes my sleep schedule I've been trying to fix. And so today I've been pretty tired, and then it's gonna get screwed up again because I'm gonna have to get up at like 5 in the morning after going to this concert. And anyways, it'll be fun. We'll have a good time.
You'll
I'm
have a
gonna
good time.
gonna have girl time, which I
Yeah.
don't get very much because I don't I just it's just hard to make friends as an adult. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, I don't hang out with my friends all the time. Everybody's
Mhm.
busy, with different things. So, it just depends, it is
I
what
just
it
want a
is.
friend to go picking with, like
Yeah,
especially
I
on
don't have
here if it's like, oh hey, I'll come pick you up at 7 a.m. Let's go to these estate sales and like
Yeah.
just like that'd be cool. Especially
Uh-huh.
if like they know stuff I'm looking for and I know stuff they're looking for. Like you
Right.
keep an eye out because if you have two people in
Yeah.
different areas of the house, that also does good. Especially in the beginning, estate sales are super
Right.
crazy.
That's why I sometimes, well, for those big church sales and stuff that are on the weekends that happen in the spring here, that one big one, I like get my husband to come. He's come to a few estate sales with me too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm like, I'm trying to like, I try and get him like go look at some. I mean, he has found stuff, but he's kind of slow. I mean, slow at he doesn't really know what to look for. I'm just look at anything. I'm like, just whatever you see that catches your eye. I said, and then look it up and see if it's worth anything. And he's found
Mm-hmm.
some stuff that way.
My husband
Um,
has too, or he'll just see something that catches his eye and he's like,
yeah,
"Ooh, this might be worth it." Like a tech item that
yeah,
I don't even pay attention
exactly,
to. Yeah.
yeah. Like I'm like, look at the maybe like a tool or a little bit about more about them than I do. Like not that he's an expert, but
Mm.
he found once there's the store that I haven't been in a while, but the store they do clean outs and then they have the sale and they price the stuff down every week by 10%. And he found it was like it was just it was for 8mm film and you put the film on it and it was how it had a light behind it so you could see it and like if you were doing any kind of editing to it or whatever
Mm-hmm.
there was there was nothing to it. It was just you put the excuse me. My allergies, my sinuses are really bothering me. The you put it on one end, the other, and you could like kind of look at it. And I guess if you were, this is when you actually spliced film, cut it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so there wasn't anything to it except a light bulb and the parts. And he found it, and it was super cheap. It was like $1 or something because nobody had bought it. And he's like, "Hey, this sells for like $30." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I got like $40 for it because the light worked. I showed that it worked
Mm-hmm.
because there was only a couple others listed and nobody had them with the light turned on. I'm like, well, I mean, even if it didn't work, I would have bought a light bulb for it. I don't know. But yeah, so I got like $40 for it. Like so he's done that, but he's not like once you get to do it a little bit, sometimes you don't have to look stuff up,
Mm-hmm.
because you know what it
I
is.
look everything
Or
up because that's how you
uh
find random things that are worth money.
oh,
I look up so many
I
things.
look up stuff that I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
like what I'm saying is like I don't have to look everything up. Like, you know, oh, that little quarter Fenton vase, I'm just gonna buy it. It's Fenton
Mm-hmm.
and it's quarter. It's not gonna be worth it might not be worth that much, but every time
Like
I get
any
Fenton,
Fenton
it
for a
sells
quarter at
it.
that
It
point. Yeah.
yeah, it sells in like 2 seconds, even if it's like a $10 thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean, like about not looking up certain stuff. And like sometimes, like I said, it like a garage sale, like I picked up that weird book, because it was nothing, and I sold it for $20. So, but yeah, I do look stuff up, but um, yeah, I wish I had somebody too, but I don't know.
It's nice, but I also enjoy my alone time when I'm
Yeah,
picking
me too.
too, because I like to be left alone. Because sometimes I'll take my husband with me, and then I'll be looking something up, and he'll be like, "Babe, look at this, babe, look." Like, I'll start at the beginning of the line, and I'll slowly go. He'll like go to like through everything, and he'll find the exciting stuff, and then come back to me. I'm just like, I'm looking up this item. Like, leave me alone. Yeah, I get. So we're
That's fun.
both different types of pickers, if you could consider,
Yeah,
different picking styles.
oh yeah, that's how we are too. I wouldn't like I don't think I would have looked at um that film reel thing, but he did. So
Well, that's all I've
that's
got.
all I got too. I yeah. I
All right,
just want the
guys.
sun to come out so I can, I don't know, feel better.
Yeah.
Just
Today
blah.
was really nice with the sun out and
No,
like it
you
was
had out.
actually too hot to sit in my car with my hoodie on. Like
Oh
it
wow.
was like I actually had to roll the window down,
We
which
got it got
that's
cold
nice.
here again. We were warm over the weekend, and then yesterday, no, well, Sunday night, I guess, got started to get chilly again. So, boo. I hope it's coming this way. Sunny,
All
warmer
right,
weather. All
guys.
right.
We will
Have a
see you next week.
Yep. Have a good week. Hope you get some good sales.
See you in February. Oh wait, no. You guys will see this in February. But
This will be, yes, February 2nd.
yep. All right. Bye y'all.
Bye.